It all goes back to our childhoods. I'm going to get right to the point here. Here's the fucking deal. TV in the 60s was the reason why so many people my age are creative and why the whole 60s and 70s were the most creative and imaginative cultural time in history. And also why New Yorkers think Southerners are morons. Follow me. If you're a kid in the 60s, you're watching astronauts with genies and uncles who are Martians. You're watching mothers who are reincarnated and come back as cars. You're watching the Monsters, who are monsters, and the Addams Family, who are either monsters or the most fucked up humans on the planet. You watch flying nuns and witches married to mortals. I could keep going, but you get my drift here. We grew up in such extreme fantasy where everything and anything was possible if you just used your fucking brain. Is it any wonder why the decades of the 60s and 70s exploded with music and art and film and books and fashion and auto design and pretty much everything else? Until, of course, technology came knocking in the early 80s and turned us all into a society where one half wants to eat the other half and both halves are now lazy with their fucking faces and their phones and their TVs pointed to Hulu, Zulu, Guru, Mumu, and Dudu and Cuckoo Cachoo. Yay for us. Anywho, here's why New Yorkers think Southerners are morons. Now, my entire childhood was filled with Jethro, Barney, and a million other slow-talking mutants who were seemingly kicked in the fucking head by a mule and could be fooled into anything. We were force-fed Green Acres, where a pig was smarter than a human. We were force-fed Petticoat Junction, Mayberry, and Gomer Pyle, where people were actually named Gomer and Goober. We didn't hear names like that growing up in Brooklyn. There was no Gomer Goldbaum or Goober Gravano. There were hillbillies and police officers who either carried no gun or literally had one bullet. Then we had the granddaddy of confounding Southern shows, Hee Haw. Now, I watched that fucking show every week, and I thought they were speaking a foreign language. It was supposed to be the country version of laughing, but I never laughed at that fucking show either. I mean, I didn't even smile. I just sat there, and I thought, wherever these people live, I don't want to live there. Could you blame a kid for thinking the South was the land of the Rube after watching this craziness? Let me go back to the Monsters for 1 second. This show was a real stretch when I think about it. Grandpa was a vampire, okay. And his daughter, Lily, was a vampire, okay. Now, I'll assume Grandpa's wife was a vampire. Okay, so, where was she? How come we never saw her or they never talked about her? I'll just assume she either had a fucking wooden stake driven through her heart or she and Grandpa divorced. Okay, moving on. Now, here's where it gets really tricky. Herman was made from parts of dead people by Dr. Frankenstein. Now, I won't even get into how he gets the name Herman. Anyway, somewhere along the line, he marries Lily, knocks her up, and pops out a werewolf boy, Eddie. What? Where did those genes come from? Who's fucking wolves on Grandpa's side of the family? Who made it with a wolf to get that bloodline going? What kind of wacky motherfucking vampire got so horny he banged a wolf and had kids? And then there's Marilyn. Holy shit, the biggest stretch of all. Vampires and monsters and wolves all over this family. And then someone who looks like a fucking movie star is also in the bloodlines? You got Hollywood starlets banging these fucking characters? I need to see the Monsters family tree. Holy shit, the whole fucking thing is off the fucking charts insane. Anyway, all you young people today who don't get my sense of humor or taste in wacky humor and comedy, it all goes back to our childhoods. There's so much more stuff to talk about, but I had these things in my mind today, and that's that. Look, thanks to everyone for not watching my videos the way you used to, even though it cost you nothing. I should have married a fucking witch. I can tell you right now, I wouldn't be working like that idiot Darren.